Run. So, hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to... I'm not sure what to call this, honestly. I'm not entirely sure. This is a game that some of you who grew up in the NES generation may have played this in some form or another. It is 10-Yard Fight for the Nintendo Entertainment System. And as you can see here, you have 5 teams you can face against in this game. Let's start with high school. And it starts out simply enough with a little kickoff. There's very little fanfare, but I'm putting it in here just to show off what you can do to cheese out these opponents. Because this game is pretty easy to cheese. And getting touchdowns on kickoffs in this game is actually not a hard thing to do. Just requires a little bit of study into what you need to do. Alright. So, yeah, it's very simple to get a touchdown on the opening kickoff. So let me reset this and then review. Let me take you through exactly what I'm doing on each kickoff. So let's start this up again. Alright, and then immediately you see me holding up and right here. I want to go to the right side, and I want to be going up at the same time. I can do this strat entirely while going forward. So all I really need to do is just move left or up left or up right at certain points. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to move to the hash, and then I'm going to stop. This all this speedrun is going to be about is essentially AI manipulation. So I'm going to be trying to... actually, I probably want the cursor capture for this part. So I'm trying to manipulate all of these guys that are going to be coming down on the screen to move themselves into some of my blockers. So that way my ball carrier gets a free shot into the end zone. So keep an eye on this guy right here. As soon as this guy starts moving right towards my ball carrier, I am going to be moving up and right towards the sideline. This is part of the manipulation. So let's keep this going. And as soon as the front guy starts moving, I'm going to move. And go. And stop. I usually like to line up my ball carrier with the little edge of the sideline right here. There's a little bit of leeway. You can move further to the right without stepping out of bounds. Of course, I want to concern myself with not staying out of bounds, but I also want to try and line up these two teammates to block all 5 of these guys, or at least I think there are 5. I can never remember, but I also want to try and line up all those blocks. I'm going to be making an extra little wiggle to the right to make sure that all the blocks run into each other. So unpause. And there we go. Now pause again. Here is basically the last guy standing. Get past him, and you're basically home free. Though you will need to adjust a little more. Just a little more after you get by him. So what I'm going to do next is, as soon as this guy starts angling towards me, I'm going to angle towards him until we're basically on the same vertical plane with each other. And then he's going to attempt to dive downwards towards me, and I'm going to dodge him, go up, and then maneuver a little back to the left just to make sure my blocks are all lined up, and that should set me up for the touchdown. But let's make sure that I can get by this guy first. Okay, move towards him. There we go. And a little back to the left. Make sure the blocks are lined up. And I dare say that is perfect. And at this point, I don't even have to touch the D-pad, because you move upward automatically. So that is a pretty much 100% guaranteed way to score touchdowns in this game. But you may be thinking, there's still a clock here. This is still a football game. How are you supposed to speedrun this? Well, I have misled slightly on this regard. This is the North American version of 10-Yard Fight. This version is not speedrunnable. So let's actually switch over to the Japanese version. Now, watch what happens here when I execute this kickoff. Gosh, that jingle takes too long. If only there was a way to skip it. Alright, so move over to the hash. React to the first guy, move. To the sideline, wiggle. There we go, got those blocks lined up. This guy moves, go. Dive forward, yes, there we go. Now notice, unlike the US version, the clock hasn't even started yet. Like, that's slightly significant for how this goes down in this version of the game. But it's not going to matter a whole lot. So there we go, into the end zone for the touchdown. Counting down the clock to get the extra points. God, I really wish there was a way to skip this. No, gotta wait for this to count. And then for the extra point, this cursor moves automatically, and you just have to mash the A button until you snap the ball and get the ball through the uprights. But you may have noticed here, I'm already in the second half. I mean, in the North American version, I couldn't actually do this immediately. It's like I normally would have had to wait for 30 minutes to elapse before I got to the second half. See, this Japanese version plays more like the original arcade. Like this is the behavior that the original arcade version would have you do. And this was just a matter of progressing to the end zone at each level, and then just getting higher and higher levels, and seeing how far you could go. While the Japanese version plays the same way, and since I can actually speed up the individual games, I can actually speed up this game. I can actually speed up the Japanese version, unlike the English, North American, US version. See, I'm already at college. Like, there's no way the US version would let me go to the next game so quickly. Also, another thing another thing I want to show off before I get this run started, and I cover a lot of these topics in my FAQ, but I'm not going to go into super great detail on all of them because I hope to be done with this run after a few attempts. But another thing you can do regarding the jingle, I wish you could skip the jingle. Well, you can. You can mash the pause button at the beginning and actually cut off basically every single jingle in this game. And if you mash fast enough, you can save like a second and a half over skipping that first beginning jingle. And you can do that. You can do that with every jingle in this game, and basically shorten the time the game takes to load the next part. Also, here's a jingle coming up, and I'm going to skip this. There we go. That was considerably shorter than what I did before. And you're going to see me spam the pause button a lot to get through this game quickly. Also, hey Vice, how's it going? If I time this right, like usually I can save a little bit of time on that jingle as well, even though it's very short. So yeah, that's the basics of what's going to be happening in this run. All I'm really going to do is try and get from the opening kickoff to the end zone in one play. I'm going to be doing that 8 times. There are 4 levels in this game. There's high school, there's college, there's professional level, and then there's the Super Bowl. And there are 2 halves to each game. I have to do this in each half of each game. So 2 halves a game, 4 games. That's 8. That's 8 kickoff returns for touchdowns that I will be scoring in this run, assuming I do everything right. But in the yeah, pausing strats, they are actually a thing. But I forgot what point I was gonna make. Yeah, if this goes well, if this goes about as well as I expect it to, and it shouldn't take me that long to get a run that would be considered somewhat close to optimal, then this should take about 10.5 minutes. Like, I'm hoping that 10:30 would be my end goal for this run, but it may or may not happen. Also, something to notice that I think is true in this game. I'm going to look at it right now. Like, the rate you move forward automatically and the rate when you are moving to the side, I think this is constant. Like, I think another, no, not that game, Vice. We would have made that work a long time ago. We did. Jesus Christ. So yeah, that is the basics of what I'm going to be doing in this run. And I guess while I'm here,